supposed to be just seeing like a weird screen, right?
Another day, another broken plan. Feels like the world is slipping through my hands. Think I'm losing control. Can't seem to find my way home. I sit and watch when you're enraptured yourself in the stone. I'm hoping I can find the silver lining. Transmission blinking, not replaying. We're losing signal over the horizon. That's screaming over radio silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. We're coming a little bit early. Caitlin Bell joined us a little bit early, and we just started chatting a little bit. So we figured, fuck it. We do this almost every single week. We start a little bit early anyways. So if you're avid followers of the show, you know that. And Caitlin, we were talking a little bit. Of course, you're in Vegas, and you were saying how cold it was there and how there's a misconception of how cold it gets in Vegas. Like, what's the temperature actually right now in Vegas?
I'd say it's in the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really cold. Don't let this tiny little shirt fool you. I'm just trying to pretend like it's already summer. I'm so over it.
Well, it's funny because we were saying right before we went live is that here in Maryland, we literally yesterday was 70 degrees outside, like literally 70 degrees.
So nice.
And then what happened is tomorrow it's supposed to snow. It's supposed to just fucking rain down with snow tomorrow. And we're just kind of like, okay,
Well,
but
you can tell, well, when my drive here, it was cold, man. Like, geez.
Yeah, when I left LA, it was hailing, and it's supposed to be snowing today and tomorrow. So I don't know. It's cold everywhere. I was in Miami last week, and it was cold there. That was weird. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody has
in Miami.
I think everybody has the misconception that Florida, Arizona, Texas, Las Vegas, California, all that they don't get cold weather, that it just stays hot all the time. And I know I'm actually one of those ones that's kind of like that, where I always think, it's slightly hot, but it's just completely insane. But it was funny before we started, I was telling Matt, like, have you ever, like, at any point, like, kind of, have you yourself or have you known anybody where, like, they woke up or you woke up and there was a weird medical thing going on and you were just kind of like, I don't have any idea what the fuck is happening right now? Because that happened to me the day before yesterday, and I had to go to the doctor yesterday to get checked up because I had no idea what was going on.
What was wrong with you?
All right, so I wake up and I get out of bed, and I'm just kind of scratching my stomach, and I'm like, what the fuck is, and I look down and there's just this red, like, hardened ring around my belly button. And I'm like, what the fuck is
ringworm?
No, like, like it was like hard, like a scab. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, so I sit there, like I hop in the shower, clean it out real good. And I show my wife and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. And she's like, it looks like it's actually actively bleeding. And I'm like,
oh shit.
What the fuck? And she's like, appointment to the doctor.
What did you do last night?
I'm like, all right. So I call the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, I can't tell you what to do, over, just come in. I have an appointment available at the end of the day. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go in and he like looks into my belly button. Like, the thing they look in your ears with, he looks in my belly button like that fucking thing. And he's like, well, I see like kind of a little hole, and like he's like kind of feeling around this area and all that, and he's like, I don't feel any lumps. He's like, do you feel that, me pressing in? I'm like, no. And he's like, all right. He's like, his first initial thought was there's something called an umbilical hernia, and he thought that since at work I do a lot of like heavy lifting of equipment and shit, that I may have gotten a hernia, and it's starting to poke through the skin. And
that's terrifying.
Yeah. So that's not what it was.
Yeah.
Even more terrible, because now he's kind of stumped. He's like, well, I don't know. And the only thing, he's like, the only thing I can think of is that you have like a boil or like a little, like, you ever get like those little sweat bumps or a sweat or.
I've never had one of those.
He's like,
sweat bump.
Yeah, he's like, you may have had, a boil or something, or a pimple or something inside, and it.
I'm saying it was a pimple or
so, and He gave me a prescription
on your belly button.
and I'm just sitting there, and I told my wife, I'm like, what if I'm like just regrowing my umbilical cord? What if it's just, and like whenever we have sex, it's just kind of dangling, like just like that, like back and forth. Like I was like, will you pin it up for me? Like, like every time I pee, you can put that like little clip, like they put on like a newborn baby umbilical cord to clip it up. Like, but like, I mean, it's bad enough that like you look at it like
Do you still have it? Is it still there?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But I was like, is the thing from Aliens just gonna shoot out of my stomach and like just like what the fuck? But no,
I don't know. Nowadays, anything's possible.
Yeah, like
shit
I
see, man.
Yeah,
fucking
I've seen. Yeah. Fucking train derails in Ohio and balloons flying all over the place, and I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
You got a fucking coming out of
I'm turning into a fucking zombie. Like that's what's fucking happening. Like what the fuck?
The world is just getting stranger and stranger.
It's funny, like, have you known anybody that ever, and I know like my aunts and uncles and like some of my grandparents have done this for some reason. When they would have a baby, like they would keep part of the umbilical cord, like part of
they would and put in their baby book or something.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Like, why would you keep that? That's almost like cooking the gizzards to a turkey. Like
it's for I don't know, sentimental values. Your baby, especially your first baby, I think.
I have kids and I never did that with any of them.
I mean, my parents didn't do that to me, and I think it's a little weird, but
imagine going through the family book.
I kind of understand where they're coming from. I think.
Yeah. I'm just flipping through my family book. I'm like, oh, here it is, and I just see if it just reattaches to whatever. Like it notices that it's there, and it just.
Hey, at least it's not the head of your penis. The foreskin.
That
because that's just a whole nother level, right?
Yeah, that's just a whole nother thing.
And I bet they probably do keep that, like, right?
I don't know. Like, do they?
When they get service, I'm just getting this from Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting it from. I don't know anyone who personally has had that.
I think in some religions they do that.
Do they have like I mean, at a hospital, do you have like a foreskin trash can? Because I mean, there's a lot of babies born. They like just snip.
Could you imagine that?
Like they snip it like inside their gloves. They just throw their gloves in the trash can.
A foreskin trash can.
Disposable foreskin.
Poor homeless guy going through the trash can looking for food. And he's like, "Oh, hey, look, I found some chicken," and he's just gnawing.
Ew, gross.
You know what goes on? Like what? Like
chicken.
Oh my god! So is that what it does? Do umbilicals taste like chicken? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like, how do you properly dispose of foreskin though? Like, I mean, that's the thing.
You just throw it the fuck away, dude.
I mean, like, is it one of those things like you cut it off and it just instantly shrivels up like fucking pork rinds? Like it just looks like a pork rind after that. Like, I mean, like now it's the kind of thing.
I don't know, right? I'm gonna assume that anything is just kind of
now that we're curious, we're gonna see.
Please don't.
All right, so what happens to
I would
foreskin
imagine
after circumcision?
It's the first Google search. Everyone wants to know.
Circumcision ranks among the world's most common surgeries after its removal. Most foreskin is tossed as biological waste when they're kept around, and the leftover cells have proven a vital asset to medical research. Okay, so that they do have a foreskin trash can. So
what the leftover?
I learn something new every day.
The leftover cells. They do that. They use that as like a skin graft or something like that.
Yeah, well, the leftover.
So you can have a baby's foreskin.
Someone gets their dick cut off, and they craft another dick out of all these foreskins and just attach it.
Oh,
Caitlin, welcome to the happy hour. This is what you have in store for the next.
What a great start! Oh my god, I'm terrified.
What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna get into our first drunken news article. So first one we're gonna get into is gonna be owners of a used sex toy shop says that it's not gross. So let's see. So it says the founders of Squeaky Clean Toys
Sorry.
know that their business model raises some questions, but there's a real demand for lightly used dildos and butt plugs. Caitlin,
this
would you
real?
ever buy a used dildo or a used butt plug? Like,
Fuck no.
could you imagine that?
Real?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, like, could you imagine that listing on eBay? Slightly used, condition is okay, slight scuffage.
Scuffage.
Yeah, so,
There's
all right.
like just the pictures of like smears. Oh, gross.
Oh my God.
When Lisa and Dan considered starting a used sex toys website, most of their friends had one word reaction: ew. This is an icky and yucky idea, or is it an actually savvy and smart? Lisa and Dan, who are both web designers and requested to remain synonymous to protect their privacy,
Yeah.
idea to start a sex toy resale business when a friend went on a decluttering spree and found about $400 of high-end sex toys he no longer used. He couldn't find anywhere to recycle or resell
High-end.
them.
What would be considered a high?
Yeah, I mean,
like I don't know, like Caitlin,
who wants to resell their
what's
old sex toys?
Like this one's antique. Look at it.
This one pure gold.
The collector's edition.
Yeah, it's like a DVD multi disc set. It's like a multi-dick set. That's what it is. Yeah, you just open up the little box and there's one dick here, there's one dick there, and there's another dick here. All right. So let's see.
Sounds like you have experience in this.
It does. It sounds like you
I
have
very
one.
well may.
I bet you have a very good collection of dicks.
He has a bookshelf of these
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
dildos.
I mean, everybody wondered when I was in school, why does he just keep on drawing all these dicks all over his composition notebook? And I mean, it's
It's a thing. It's a real disease, okay?
they looked into a market to see if similar businesses existed, most likely not, and found only reseller Facebook groups and the subreddit. So I'm not surprised the Facebook Marketplace has sex toys.
No.
Yeah,
Could you
could you imagine meeting somebody on Craigslist and buying their sex toy that this sex toy was blue, but now it's brown.
They're gross. Do you
Yeah.
meet them in a public area or do they ship it to you?
They found his Squeaky Clean Toys in 2021 as a way for more people to exchange toys they no longer use before anyone can resell any toys, whether it's a tentacle dildo, rabbit vibrator, puppy tail butt plug, or an auto blow machine. They require sellers to clean their used toys with a 3-step cleaning method: washing with soap and water, sanitizing with alcohol, and sterilizing by boiling. This sounds like what they do.
It sounds pretty sterile.
Yeah.
Would I be purchasing anything? No, but
Oh,
sounds like they're following protocol. Okay.
they actually have.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
that? Like, remember like blockbusters and shit? Like
Yeah.
you had to rewind the movie. Could you imagine like, hey, this person forgot to wash
Yeah.
their dildo. And they gotta like wash it themselves and shit.
You open up the dishwasher and there's just a bunch of fucking dildos just flopping in the dishwasher. Like,
So you remember how you had to return the movies? So you just drop in that little drop box. Why they just it slides down and
Blockbuster Dropbox, it just slides down.
shove a pocket pussy in there. So
You have your foot trying to shove it down into there. It says they sell everything from cuttlefish of Kaluthu dildos to 8-foot tall inflatable cartoon love dolls. Squeaky Clean gets about 83.
So you can turn in your old dolls too.
Yeah,
you get rid of your old
Like,
dolls.
holy
What?
holy shit.
Don't they grow a connection to those things after a while?
Oh, they have a picture of one of these. I'm not sure if I can show it on YouTube Live though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, how are they gonna know?
I don't
it's a
know.
dildo?
I don't know the policy of dildo. All right, you know what?
You know
Take
the-
it, man. Take it, man.
Does
I know-
YouTube have a
yeah.
dildo policy?
Yeah. Does YouTube have like a dildo policy? Like, I don't understand. I'm gonna share
Can't
it.
Anything sheep.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you sending it or are you just
Yeah,
looking
we're
at it?
trying to
Yeah,
share it.
I'm gonna try to share a screen. So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to pull this up on here. And so all right, so here we go. Share. So that's it right there. That's one of the ones that they have cleaned down, and like it looks like
Is that a rocket ship?
It's like a brain worm. Like
It
that's a
might
brain.
be.
The balls are a brain, and it's like some sort of like worm bit, like slimy worm bit
That
coming
is
out of
what
the
is
brain
coming
balls.
out of your belly button.
I couldn't even get wet to that. That thing's terrifying. Oh my God.
Imagine like you show up to do your first scene and they're like, this is what you're using today. You're just like, I'm choosing a different career. This is
like, I am just gonna sit on that and pretend like I didn't see it.
So
I'm a professional now.
You gotta ease into those.
Oh my God. Here, let's see let's see.
That thing looked like it had a bunch of crevices and like hard edges.
It looked like hold on. One Indiana University study showed that HPV can live on sex toys for over 24 hours, even after they've been cleaned. But in the study, the porous toys pose more risk, and those sex toys were cleaned with commercial sex toy cleaner instead of Squid Clean's multi-step sterilization process.
Oh, are they selling their own? They're selling their own disinfecting.
There you go.
They're selling their own.
You got to.
I mean, it's kind of business savvy.
Great marketing decision.
Yeah, if you have a problem with us, don't worry. We've got the perfect disinfecting cleaning supplies.
If you didn't clean your dildo before you shipped it out to us.
Yeah, that's your own fault. It says most of what people buy on their marketplace has never seen the inside of another person. Wait, so how is it used? Yeah, how is it used?
I think they just went to the store, bought it, kind of chickened out later, and just didn't ever use it.
Well, no, damn it! No. If you're selling a used sex toy, like I wanted that to be deep in somebody's crevice. Damn it!
Do they go to you know how Storage Wars, how they have storage bins and shit? They just auction off the storage bin. They just inherit all these sex toys.
Yeah. For most people who purchase unused sex toys, when it comes down to cost, a high quality sex toy can cost anywhere between $100 to $1,000, and they get more expensive from there.
$1,000? I want to see what that toy does.
Yeah, like that thing probably licks and fucks at the same time. I'm on the end of some shit.
A real human tongue. What?
Oh, so it says here we ran into these guys at Exotica. It says the moderator of r/used sex toys lives in Australia, told Motherborn that the shipping alone for fantasy sex toys from the Bad Dragon company. We ran into Dragon. Lauren Phillips was doing stuff for Bad Dragon.
Oh, I love her. She's great.
Yeah, and it says where they live in Australia is $80 to ship, so it's more affordable to buy used sex toys from fellow Aussies.
So they do that? They actually do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
the sex toy. They're sex toy enthusiasts.
It says Max says the price is his main concern, but he's not worried about sanitization. He has a dildo pot that he fills with water and boils his toys. He's boiling his toys like hot dogs.
What you do? You gotta boil it. It's like the thing you ever get a mouthpiece for football or something.
Yeah,
I think boiling hot dogs is so fucking gross.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna look at sex toys the same. Every time I think about them, I'm gonna think about boiling hot dogs.
You just think.
I appreciate it.
Oh no! Oh God! No!
I just find it hilarious that there's people out there that literally run a sex toy Pornstars.
Yeah.
You go in there how much for this? Yeah. Well, I'll give you $300 for it. Let's call in a specialist.
Yeah.
And they bring in this fucking this dildo enthusiast. He looks at it yeah, this is real vintage right here.
Best to do is $5.
Right. This one been in Jenna Jameson, I can tell you that. Looking down at it and shit.
He sit there, he smells it. This one smells like Ron Jeremy. And trust me, it has a distinct smell.
Gross.
And, of course, we're right here on YouTube Live. So anybody tuning in, make sure you comment in the live stream. Of course, our good buddy Jason, a good friend of the show. What's up, Caitlin? Hope you're having an awesome night. And you And then he said, I can't believe they want $150 for a used toy. That's crazy. And he said, no way he would ever buy a used toy in his entire life. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that either. Like,
Do they have a no return policy?
yeah, that's the thing. It's like they've already been returned, but can you return?
Right. Can you return it? Like, say it doesn't work, or it breaks in half. I don't know. It's been used.
All right. So now I'm curious. So what was
With
this?
their return
Yeah,
policy
what was this company called again? So let's see. It said it at the top because now I want to go to their website, Squeaky Clean Toys. So Squeaky, that's not squeaky at all. That shows my Baltimore education.
Squacky?
Yeah,
Wacky clean.
Clean. That's probably a whole different thing.
Wacky
Toys. It's an actual website. All right. So let's see. Squeaky Clean
It
Toys.
says unwanted sex toys.
#1 site to buy.
Unwanted.
This looks
That-
like
that
this.
sounds
Look,
terrible.
this looks like this was made by a toddler.
The
What
website. I mean.
Okay, hold on. Our website looks better than this, and like, hold on. Like,
It looks very.
it looks like it's a GeoCities website. Like literally.
Yeah,
like,
it's very, very plain.
yeah. Like I don't.
I mean,
I'm
it's kind of professional though. Do they have pictures of the used dildos?
All right, here, real quick. Let me take it off stop share in case they show anything too risky. And here, let's see what they have. So sellers, this is your chance. Buyers, today's the day. So I wonder if you have to
Are
like
they
subscribe to
auctioning
their
it off?
website. Like, all right, let's see.
Oh,
Bad
yeah.
Dragon SS Apollo. Let's see. A
What's that?
silicone dildo. Okay.
What is that? Is that like
$55.
a
I mean, I like silicone dildos.
is that like a pocket pussy? Like
Yeah, it looks like
mouse?
a mouse. The
And you
very-
guys be honest, have you ever used a pocket pussy? Be honest.
I have not.
Oh yes, of course
Yeah,
not.
I have not. I honestly have not. What
What's
the
stopping you? I mean, if
Oh.
I were a guy, I would totally want to see what it was like.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. This is awesome. Look at this. That's one of the things they have. Imagine whose face that, like, I wonder if this is the dude who, like, if that's the actual one that's like on his actual face. Like, this dude probably was just going at it, sweating in this thing. Like, get it, and it just smells like his sweat. Like, I don't know.
That
Oh,
is so gross.
yeah, look at that. Like, this dude's
Look,
As big
I
as the
mean,
harness.
it looks pretty cool though. Like I
That
know
is-
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
if it was unused, I would certainly get it.
I mean, that's like that dude's wearing a COVID mask. That's what he's doing. He went shopping in his grocery store during COVID.
No, you know what
wearing
he
that
looks
mask.
like? What's that fucking cartoon from the lion, the lioness, like dude?
What do you mean? Like what lioness, dude? Like
You're like,
That's-
what do
that's
you
too
mean?
strange porn are you watching when you're hot? Okay, Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Okay. Like
Thunder
the
gas?
Thundercats.
Oh, Thundercats. I remember them.
Fantasy for her ultimate pleasure clitoral pump vibe. All right.
I think vibe means vibration. You gotta know the lingo, bro. Come on.
I like that one's actually like kind of gripping the octopus one right there. This is some crazy shit. Oh,
The
hey, look,
octopus. I want to see that. What is that?
it's a tentacle.
Has it got multiple tentacles?
yeah, here. That's well. It's here. It's actually
It has-
rainbow, and it shows them cleaning it. So we get to
With
see, like-
what?
Yeah.
There's
With their special cleaning
There's
Yeah,
supplies.
like that,
special
that's it
stuff.
right there. Yeah, with their special stuff.
What the fuck is up with their dildos? That looks so
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful.
And it
That's
says
called a pretzel?
it has the sizes and accessories. Like, yeah. So look, there's a couple more those are all by the same people. So
They look terrifying. At least that rainbow one does. I do not want that inside of me, just saying.
well, somebody did, and if you buy it from this website, then you get to sample the one that they had inside of them.
$150.
What they had inside of them now goes inside of you.
Does it come with the story, the backstory?
Yeah, that'd be great. I need to know-
legend of the
yeah,
dildo.
Yeah.
Right.
Backstory of the guy with the mask on. Like that's just
And then every person who returns it has to tell their story. you know?
Oh,
Tell the
yes. Yeah. It's like a confessional. Like you sit there, like you're talking to like like the priest on the other side of the confessional, but you're telling your story of the sex toy.
There's actually a show like a football. It's like a football themed show. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Damn. But the guys in the locker room, the football team, shared a pocket pussy. Like each night they like
What?
tossed it like
Do they clean it or do they just go one at like do they like
Oh,
gangbang like
it's
one
a
after
show.
another? Like
It's a show.
Are they gang banging their pockets?
It's not really real.
yeah. Like I mean,
as
does
far as I
someone like
know.
yank it off and then he just shoves it onto his like, no, you're done. It's my turn now. Like I mean, like is that how this works?
I
Like,
would just right. I would just stand in a circular and just pass it around. Like,
You wait till you finish and then pass it around, or
yeah. Like
Well,
someone,
what you
someone,
do-
someone
joint
just, like,
effort.
just
you
like
do the
blast
bubblegum
inside
in a dish. How many pieces? You know, and you just
how many strokes do you wish?
there you go. You just
Oh my god, we're off to like a very like I think this is one of the craziest starts we've had to the show in a long, long
I think it's
time.
because you have so much knowledge on dildos that
Yes, that's
Yes.
what it is.
couldn't help but be wild.
There's actually one in my anus right now. She's like, oh, she's like, screw your belly button. Let me see that.
I'm like, I want to see that.
So no, what we're going to do, of course, one of the subjects we're going to talk about is have you ever, and I know I've been to a couple of them, Matt, I'm not sure if you have, but have you ever at any point in your life snuck into an abandoned place, like an abandoned, like insane asylum or abandoned building, anything like that?
An abandoned building. I mean, as a kid, all the time, I lived out in the country. So
Oh,
there was all kinds of like farms and stuff. But as an adult, can't say that I have.
Yeah, like a lot of my teenage, there were a couple of places down here, and there was one, it was a Glendale Hospital, and it was
That'd
old,
be kind of creepy and fun.
it was
yeah.
an old tuberculosis hospital.
oh geez.
Yeah.
Oh,
old-
wow.
Look in your belly button. You got
Yeah.
tuberculosis.
And then there was also the old Cockeysville insane asylum.
Yeah, I've
We
been
went there too. They had
I've been
the
there.
electroshock therapy tubs.
Yeah.
It was called Cockeysville, the insane
What was
asylum.
that called?
She wants to know what
Well,
Cockeysville.
there-
Oh, Cockeysville.
There's a
Actual
part.
place.
Yeah, there's a town in Maryland called Cockeysville. So let's see. Was it Sykesville or Cockeysville? Let me look.
Who is in charge of naming that city?
Cockeysville insane.
On the right above us up in PA, they got Blue Ball Lane and stuff.
Yeah, they have
Really? There's a blue ball.
Oh, and then if you go through
I bet you that sign gets stolen all the time.
Spring Grove. That's what it was. Spring Grove Hospital, Catonsville. That's what I was thinking of. So Spring Grove Hospital. Yeah,
Catonsville.
like we went there
okay.
and we stole like files. They still had patient files and shit there. And like we took like some of the files to like read through. And
Were
like
you going there to get
like-
scared, or you just being a fucking thief? What's
no,
wrong?
no, like we saw files and we're like, well, let's read these. And there was
You
this
fucking
one
criminal.
about some
That
lady, and she lured like a guard into her room with like sexual favors. And it was like back in like the time when they kept like one of those like long key rings with like the long keys on it. And like she lured him
Wow.
in with sexual favors, and she took his keys and beat him halfway to death with
Jeez.
his keys, and then let everybody out, and they were all going nuts.
Oh, and this is a real story.
I
Yeah.
feel like that would be a good story for the
Yeah.
legendary like dildo. You know? This is the story behind it.
Fucking key ring, but instead of keys, it's like fucking 10 dildos that it's just on there.
Beat the
Oh my god.
shit out of the car.
I
with
did do a porn. I did do a porn where it was a wedding, and you know how they have the cans on the back of a car when you're leaving. It was just a bunch of dildos. That was fun.
And
There you go.
I think I saw online. Didn't you just was it a scene that you did where you were wearing scrubs, like you were wearing like
Yeah, I was a nurse.
nurse? Okay.
It was a reverse gangbang.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did that with D. Williams, Lauren Phillips.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it twice. The first time was with those awesome women, and then I did it a second time with Jim Powers. Yeah,
nice. I
those
think
are so much fun. Oh my god.
yeah, I think from that scene, I think the only person from that scene we have not had on the show is Katie Morgan, and I think that's
Okay.
everybody else has.
We met
Yeah.
Katie Morgan at Exotica.
Yeah. Katie Morgan was at Exotica, so we ran into her there. She was there with Evan Stone, who was dressed as Santa, and that was awesome. But no, like it's crazy because Maryland's had like a rich history of like insane asylums. All of course, we had Crownsville mental health asylum was when you were a kid, like your parents would threaten you. They'd be like, if you don't behave, we're going to drop you off at Crownsville.
Really?
Like back in the 40s and 50s, if you were like just like a little weird, like, you know, just kind of a weird kid, or if you didn't want your kid, they literally could just drive up and
drop them off
and
then take off.
Yeah, there was a whole thing on Hulu about the hospital, and like there would be so many kids that were normal that their parents didn't want them.
Left them.
Them
So
off.
funny.
Yeah,
Aw.
and, like there was a guy who escaped there one day, and he was running, and he ran and he hit these power lines, and they said his shoes flew off, and like after he hit the power lines, like he survived, but whatever was wrong with him was gone.
Hey, how did he get on a power line?
Well, like when you get like you ever see those big like like they're like the big generator things, like
Yeah. So he climbed up it. Obviously,
Yeah,
he climbed.
like he climbed up the fence, and it was like right into all that. And they said that his shoes went flying off, and you could see like the burn mark of like where he was, but he survived. He was in like the hospital for like months, but when he got out, he was like normal. And I was like,
So it zapped him back to normal.
it
It was like electroshock therapy.
Yeah, let me see if I could. And
Poor
Caitlin,
guy.
you can look it up. What was the Crownsville Hospital? They had a documentary on it, and that's when they talk about it. Crownsville. Let's see, Crownsville Hospital documentary. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's called Crownsville Hospital from Lunacy to Legacy, and that's literally what it's
What a
called.
punchline.
Yeah. And it came out in 2018. I remember seeing it on Hulu, and I watched it instantly because it's right here in Maryland. I passed by it a half dozen times, and you know all that shit.
That place
So
is fucking creepy.
yeah,
Is it,
like,
is,
oh,
it,
dude,
is it creepy
Crowns-
looking?
Crownsville is super creepy. Hold on, let me.
I've seen it before in like real life.
Oh, this is the actual website for it.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a trailer for it.
These pictures of creepy.
So hold on,
shit.
Let's see. You want to watch the trailer? Let's watch the trailer. Hold on. Let's and that way she can see the trailer. Let me just go ahead and pull this up. Share.
So would you sneak into this place?
Oh, this has like
I totally would. I like being scared though.
Live next year. There.
What? Oh, with the what? Okay,
What the fuck? That itself is creepy.
I know.
that still stands.
See, that's what I see.
It looks like the start of a horror movie.
And some of this is like actual video too. They were open till like I think 2001, 2002.
So I bet you there's a lot of history there. But I'm sure a lot of people died.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of breaking in?
A lot of these places now have like on-site police training stations now.
Take care of everybody.
Oh yeah.
Spring Grove does, so does Glendale now.
Yeah, that would be a terrible idea to go in there and get shot up.
That's a big fucking hospital. They still have buildings that are active where like they have like rehab, like they send people to rehab and shit. And I put a copier on that premises
There?
for like in one of the still active working buildings where they do rehab and shit.
It literally looks like something from a haunted fucking.
Yeah.
No, it looks terrifying.
You delivered something there?
Yeah. They still have buildings that are like
Was
up
it a
and working
fucking
and shit.
ghost?
Ghost sign for the copier.
Like Jesus, man.
I just go in there, a bunch of dildos just float in the air, like yeah, like that. Like they did like lobotomies there, and like all kinds of crazy shit.
Animals being corralled. They were dehumanized. I don't think it was their.
I want to watch this after. That's what I'm going to do tonight.
Well, I'm glad this is turning you on.
Yeah.
It's freaking me the fuck out.
Yeah. And well, they get into the history. It originally started off as an African American only asylum.
Huh.
And like it was way back in the day, you know, when they had like a lot of racial injustices and shit, and like then it just went completely off the fucking rails. Like it's
Poor guy. At least he's a Ravens fan. You know?
At least he's a Ravens fan. So
No,
so with
fuck
that,
that.
so you've never actually yourself like snuck into a place like that.
She said when she was younger. She did.
Yeah, like I mean,
You
No,
didn't like-
I have snuck into cemeteries.
Okay.
Okay.
cemeteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big like turn on for some
I know
females.
people who have had cemeteries.
Yeah, I actually had a guy take me on a date. Like he had a whole picnic set up in the cemetery.
Cemetery.
Let's do.
I thought it was really cool. I appreciated it. And he
Was
like
it
came out with his guitar like behind a
Oh,
stone
please
hedge.
tell me you played like Ozzy Osbourne or something like that. Like it really makes sense.
It was pretty badass.
That guy got laid.
Good
Good Lord. I gotta step my game up.
Yeah, that guy's no longer buying used sex toys off the internet. Now, when you did that, was it like a newer cemetery? Or was it like one of those like old school?
No, it
like,
was an old school one in Atlanta.
that's the
Yes,
best.
they
Like,
say.
It was like super historic.
nice.
Yeah, some women I guess men find that like erotic.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
they go
like-
there, they watch this little history thing, and then they just
Yeah.
bang each other.
I mean, it's
They
crazy.
bang on a grave.
Yeah. Like I don't know if I would ever do that because that like I don't know like but you know me, like I'm into that kind of shit anyways because all my tattoos are like horror oriented. I have a big fucking Jason piece on my back. So
Really?
yeah. So like
Jeez,
I have a
really?
whole Friday the 13th piece on my back. Like almost all of my tattoos are like horror oriented and shit like that. Like, you can see like part of the zombie and like the eye with the tentacles.
So
and
you
shit.
like horror movies?
Oh, I've always been into horror. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah. So horror's like a big like genre and all that shit. Like, what's your favorite out of the horror?
I like things that are like biblical, so like demons and
Okay.
that kind of stuff freaks me out. Zombies and stuff don't do anything for me. Serial killers are pretty cool, but
Yeah.
it's that biblical, Satan shit that gets to me.
Oh yeah. Did you watch Dahmer?
Yeah, I did. That was actually really interesting.
That show was nuts.
Yeah, he
completely.
he seemed like he was a pretty cool guy. Up to
Yeah,
a
I actually thought
Yeah.
he seemed like a pretty cool guy.
I would have a beer with this guy, but I don't need him
Yeah,
on my balls. Like, but
he actually seemed like a pretty cool guy.
yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy who plays him though, because he gets like so much flack for doing that role, and it's like, well, I mean, it's not his fault.
Nah,
The
he-
people who made the
He's a
show
really good actor.
didn't
He's-
pay the
he's
families
fine.
and shit. So
Right.
you know,
It brought back a lot of horrible memories for them, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah, like it's just completely insane. So, but no, mine obviously, I'm a big slasher guy. Friday the 13th, Halloween, except for that Abomination that came out last year, whatever the fuck. That was. It wasn't a Halloween movie. I don't know what it was. If you haven't seen it yet, then
Don't watch it.
it's not worth it. Michael Myers in the fucking movie for 10 minutes, and any story they built with it, they completely killed way through the movie, and it's like, what the fuck?
Tell us how you really feel.
I was so mad
Giving
walking
a
out of that
review right
movie, but what we're gonna do real quick is we've been running for a little bit. We're gonna take a quick break, play some of our friends and some ads from them, and we'll be right back here on YouTube Live, and we're gonna get into our game segment and then a few other fun things after that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, play some ads from our friends, and we'll be right back here live on the Happy Hour podcast on YouTube Live in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Shelby Paris, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Hello, my name is Bubba Almany. I am a bodyguard who has been in the security industry for over a decade. My team and I offer a variety of security services that cover all aspects of security operations. We have secured some of the highest profile clients and largest events in the world. Should your situation require armed protection, we have the ability to carry in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Not only do we have the latest security equipment, we also have world-class training. We look forward to assisting all of your security needs by bringing you the finest and most dedicated security personnel available. From the Office of the President of the United States to local county and state dignitaries, my tactical dignitary protection officers are the tip of the spear in this extremely competitive industry. Let my highly trained staff protect the asset today. We can be contacted via the email and number below. Thank you.
In a world full of hunger and thirst, one restaurant will attempt to satisfy these cravings forever. Meet our hero, the cheeseburger, and his salty partner, crab dip tater tots. Together, with local craft beer, they take the fight to hunger. With a special appearance by Cupcake Milkshake, they... Vagabond Sandwich Company. Better making food than making commercials.
I just need a little more money. Yes, I told you my luck was going to change. All you do is tell Crystal what you want.
This is amazing.
Welcome to the Crystal House!
Hi.
Come on, bring it in. It's like I'm in a fucking Stanley Kubrick movie.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Hey, this is Reese Rideout, and you're watching the Happy Hour Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour Podcast. Of course, we're here live on YouTube Live. Huge shout out to Reese Rideout. That last trailer was something he was working on. He was on the show last week, and he asked if we could run it for him. And we were like, hey, man, no problem. So, and that whole time, because that's the first time I've actually sat through it, I didn't like I did it right before we went live, and I didn't gauge it. And I was like, I hope this isn't a not safe for work porn trailer.
Shit. Yeah.
Because
You're like,
fuck, I just get off of it.
Yeah.
But like,
screen just goes black, which you can
Yeah,
see in the background.
and like, I'm like, is this a porn or is this a regular horror? It looks like it's just a regular
Yeah.
horror that he's doing through
They
his
could have
production.
definitely threw some sex scenes in there. That
Oh, you know, horror always has sex. It always
I
has.
mean, you have to have boobs and blood always.
There's some blood.
Always.
Well, we're going to get into our game segment a little bit early this week. And we have 3 games that we normally play with our guests. And the first one is Never Have I Ever, which
Okay.
we draw 3 random cards out of the deck. And then we say, never have I ever. And if you've done it, you just raise your hand or take a drink. And if you want to give an explanation, you can. If not, then you don't have to. If you need to protect the innocent or something. So, all right.
I
so
can use aliases. They'll be fine.
the first one is never have I ever hired a prostitute. I, in fact, have not.
I have not.
Okay. So nobody has that. So that's
I'm trying to think.
Come on, guys. Be honest. This is the safe space.
Dude.
I mean, if you hired a male prostitute, you can just say.
No judgment. No judgment.
No, I'm good. I don't think I hired a. I didn't pay him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's see the second one. Never have I ever made out with 3 or more people in one night.
Hang
Yes.
out with? Or,
No.
or begged?
Never have I ever made out with 3 or more people in one night. She's
mean-
like, I'm trying.
Dude, I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to remember because there was a
I
night
have.
when I was drunk and like we were at Five Finger Death Punch and we were with a bunch of
It's a
chicks.
great name.
And and I got mad because one was a lesbian. I didn't know she was a lesbian.
But you made that.
Yeah, I mean,
You did all that work.
Be that with her
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I mean, she was super cool. Like she was just like whatever, and I was like, all right. And then they were like, hey, she's gay, right? And I was like, what? No. And I was like, no.
You're like, I can turn her. Watch.
And Caitlin, now that was that personal or was that for doing porn?
Personal.
Personal?
I've had some wild times overseas.
Oh. Where overseas have you where's your favorite place overseas?
So far, I would say Thailand and Colombia. Those are two pretty cool places. I like Thailand because during the day, you have the beautiful Buddhist culture and you can tour these crazy temples. And at night, it's like the most debauchery you've ever seen.
Nice.
So it's a good balance. Colombia is just beautiful and not too far away.
Is Colombia is the cartel still like a huge thing over there? Like I know like Colombia had a lot of issues with like the cartel and shit. Is that still
Yeah.
as bad?
I've heard that it's pretty bad, but my friends go all the time. They're actually just got back from there. So as long as you're like not stupid and try and stay in safe areas, yeah. It's I don't think it's like Juarez, like where I was from, where it was really, really bad.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they were hanging people off buildings or like off of bridges and stuff. Yeah. And I used to party there all the time. And then I found out that they were like just going in and mass shooting people at weddings and
Holy
yeah.
shit. Wow. All right. Well, on that note, I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't have said because that was very depressing. More depressing than photos. So the last one. So never have I ever drawn blood while having sex. I have drawn blood.
We're not talking about your belly button, dude.
No. I've been bit to where I've bled before.
Oh,
so yeah.
Ooh, not you.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've accidentally drawn blood out of excitement. So
it's just like pretend you're cutting me with the knife. You go, next thing you know, it's just a murder scene.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but we'll just say sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have. I was in the middle of doing the thing and the girl had a nose ring and we were kind of getting a little rough and I guess I accidentally snagged it on something and yanked it right out of her nose.
Oh, what did you snag?
It was, I don't know, and she was like bleeding everywhere, but we continued.
Finish?
Well, it wasn't really a finish, but we continued to like have sex.
She's like, look,
I mean, we were
grab those pliers out and you rip that thing out of my nose. That's what I'm into.
No, I'm not into that, but it was an accident, but we kept going because I mean,
why not?
Time, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's never have I ever. So we're going to get into a game that we've had since the inception of this podcast, which is Incoherent. So Incoherent, very popular game on here, and we actually every year we invite back 30 former guests and a Pro Wrestling Warrior Rumble style elimination show. And I don't know if you know Johnny Goodluck, but he won it last year, and we sent him an actual championship belt for winning the HH.
Really?
And it was based around this game. So pretty much what it is we're going to show on the screen a series of cards that are in drunken lingo.
Okay.
And sound them out and try to figure out what they say. There's also hints on the back that we can give you as well. So let me get these ready. And then, some people do really, really good with these, and then some people just bomb really hard.
I would probably be the bomber.
So let me get these ready and
gonna set the bar really low so I don't disappoint you guys.
Best thing to do is kind of sound them out fast, like say them fast, because we'll hear you say them, but you won't realize you're saying them because you're saying it so fast. But also sometimes with a southern accent, that'll kind of help you too. So let me pull up the first one. It's the first one. So what do you think that says?
Lucifer Fortunity. loosen her fur chin. Loose
That fur chin.
fur chin. I have no fucking idea.
What one of the hints is a cherry on top.
I wouldn't say it's.
That's what the hint says.
Lucy.
Not really something you can get back from the lost and found. Once
Oh,
you,
that helps a lot.
once you lose it, it's gone forever. You were close the first time you said it.
Really? Luciferchinity?
At some point, you were
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
Luciferchinity.
You almost said it when you're laughing. You almost had
Yeah.
it.
Luciferchinity. I feel really stupid.
That's okay.
Don't. Hey, this is the way the game works.
Luciferchinity.
All right. You want to keep trying, or are you tapping out on this one?
I tap out.
You tap out. All right. It is lose your virginity.
God. Well, that hasn't happened a long time, so.
What do you think that one says?
The one that says loser virginity.
Oh, is that still? Hold
Is
on.
it
let
still
me
up
get-
there?
I got it.
You got it.
Where did the thing go?
Oh
Up
Lord,
here.
technical
There we go. All right.
technical difficulties.
Something was going weird with that. I don't know why it was yellow. It was probably my fault. I'm probably just an idiot. So let me get that closed out, and
You
then
are
I'm
not an idiot.
pull this back up. Oh, I'm a huge idiot. All right. So, all right, that's gonna have to close completely. God damn it. This is what happens when you go live. But that's the way I like it, because it puts us under pressure to do everything well, because when you're live, there's no
live.
I got that from pro wrestling. I'm just so used to going out and
I
just,
went to my first WW. It wasn't WWE. It was the smaller
Yeah.
ones in LA.
Oh,
Oh my
nice.
God, I had so much fun.
it's completely great. I'm actually I
It's
just
hilarious. I'm like, what is going on?
I did that kind of wrestling for 20 years. I
Really?
actually
That is some talent. Like they're like, it's so fake. I'm like, they're literally flying through the air. I mean, that's and there's a point where they
Yeah.
are faking, but you have to sometimes they're going through glass and stuff.
Yeah, it's the most realist fake thing I've ever done.
There you go.
Like literally I've had 5 concussions. I like some short-term memory isn't there anymore because of that.
Okay, we're blaming the wrestling. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. My knees are bad, my lower back's bad. Like it's just it takes a bad toll on you. Like I post stuff here and there of when I was wrestling, but I haven't wrestled in like 3 years. I'm just I
What
turned
was
it-
your persona? Did you have a costume?
my name was Chase Rawlings. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I was a bad guy for a good while, and then I changed gimmicks and became Mr. Happy Hour Chase Rawlings, in which
Okay.
one of those Valvazula like grenade horns or whatever. And I came out to like shots, and I came out to shots from LMFAO and all that shit. It was
That's awesome.
yeah. So
Some
all
of those personas are hilarious. I'm like,
oh
what-
yeah. Oh yeah, like the gimmicks are just completely insane. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and pull up the second one now that it's ready. And what do you think this says?
Sit orange, his arm oats full.
That's exactly what the card says.
Sit orange, his elm oats full.
I'm glad that she's guessing, because some people will be like, all right, just try to sound it out. And then you hear silence for like
Sit
45
orange, his
seconds.
arm oats full. What's the hint?
One of the hints is need more memory. And also a reminder to delete all those selfies that didn't make the cut.
Sit orange, his elm oats full. One more hint. Can I buy a vowel?
You can get this notification on your cell phone or on your computer when something is
Reached capacity.
reach capacity. And sometimes
Storage. Sorry, what?
sometimes they'll ask you to buy more of it to store more things.
Just said it.
Something storage.
Yes, the first word is storage. So first word is storage.
So if you've got too much
Yeah.
storage,
His almost is
Oh,
almost full.
yes!
Yeah!
Storage.
Yay!
Oh, awesome.
Storage almost full. Okay. That was easy.
All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get the last one ready. I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way instead of trying to switch it while we're live because it got all fucked up last time. So there we go. And then we're going to go ahead, hit share screen on that, hit that. And what do you think that says?
Seeped he while. Seeped he while. Seeped he while. Hint.
One of the hints is you can use this for anxiety.
Sleeping pill.
That would work probably for anxiety, but no.
Oh, fuck.
It's also
I use this a lot.
Yeah, a marijuana leaf extract that supposedly cures everything.
CBD.
Yes, CBD oil. I'll give that to you. CBD oil. So yeah. So see, they're not super.
Yay!
super hard.
I just had to pretend like I was drunk.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And what we're going to do is, of course, this segment is called Ode to Humanity. So we end the game round with Cards Against Humanity. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Yes, it's so much fun.
Okay, so obviously we can't have a deck of cards in front of you, through this. So what we do is we play Cards Against Humanity roulette. So what we're going to do is we're going to read off the face card. And then the first one, you're going to give us a random lucky number between 1 and 6. And we're going to draw that card to answer it. If you don't like it, you get 2 rebuttals. So the first one is war. What is it good for? So 1 through 6, what do you think?
I just pick a number?
Yeah, just pick a random number.
4.
4. All right. So, war. What is it good for? Naked dad. So, do you like naked dad? Or do you want to use a rebuttal and choose another?
I like naked dad. I don't know why.
All right, cool. So now the second one is 2 answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you choose 2 numbers for this next one to answer this one. So this one is, if you can't handle blank, you'd better stay away from blank. So 2 numbers between 1 and 8.
1 and 8.
Yeah.
1 and 8.
You want 1 and 8? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like,
so
yeah.
if you can't handle interspecies marriage, you better stay away from having 30 sons named Chad.
It flows.
Do you like those, or do you want to rebuttal one or both of those cards?
I want to rebuttal the first one.
The first one. All right. So that one's out. So you're going to keep 30 sons named Chad.
Yes.
Okay. So now 1 through 6 for the first card.
Can't handle.
Yeah.
6.
6. All right. All right. If you can't handle a urinary tract infection, you better stay away from having 30 sons named Chad.
Yeah.
Do you like that one, or do you want to use your final rebuttal?
I like that.
All right, cool. So that's our Ode to Humanity segment.
I don't know what would be worse, a tract infection or 30 kids.
Or 30 kids. Fuck.
Dance around some wild cards.
Yeah,
that were in that also. Like I love that one. That one's just hilarious. So, but
what happened to Dirty Dad?
What's up?
What happened to Dirty Dad?
The Dirty Dad.
Dirty Dad.
I thought that was the
Naked Dad. Yeah, Naked Dad.
Dirty Dad.
Dirty Dad.
I can be Dirty Dad.
She just did Dirty Dad last week.
That was the name of the position she just.
Dad, you're so dirty.
Oh, this one, the dirty dad move.
And what we're going to do is we're going to get into another one of our news articles. And this one is called Busted by Fuzz. The dollar sniffing dog at Dulles leads to customs agents to seize 6 money seizures.
What?
All right. Customs and Border Control agents at Dulles International Airport say they have seized more than $350,000 worth of unreported currency going through the airport. Nearly half of the seizures were initiated by Fuzz, their currency detecting dog. There is no limit to the amount of money that travelers can bring into the United States or take with them out of the United States, according to customs officials. But federal law requires all currency over $10,000 to be reported. In all, agents made 14 seizures of unreported currency worth $350,918 since New Year's.
They're allowed to take your money?
Holy shit. Yeah, I'm guessing so. 13
If
of
you
those.
don't report it.
Like you're
That's
traveling
fucked
with
up.
$1 million and you're like, oh, yep, sorry, this is with us. And it says 13 seizures have happened after January 15th, 2023. So they've done 13 money seizures from January 15th to now.
That's-
Holy
Yeah, it's only
shit.
like a month.
12 of the seizures were from travelers going to Africa. The other 2 were arriving and going to and from Asia. None of the travelers were criminally charged and were allowed to continue their travel. Well, I guess so. You just took all their fucking life savings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go anywhere now.
And
You're
then
like, it's totally fine.
it just says Fuzz, the dollar sniffing dog, is a 3-year-old Labrador. And it says the overwhelming majority of travelers fully comply with our nation's law, and we appreciate it. But this trend is very unfortunate and unexplainable, considering that people may legally travel from the U.S. and as much currency as they would like, and all they need to do is simply report what they have to Customs and Border Protection officers upon arrival or prior.
No.
Like what? So pretty
Well,
much.
guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go pretend that I am a TSA agent. I'm going to bring a dog and say, hey, you didn't report all this money, bud.
Yeah. Oh, we're sorry, but we need to take this money. So they're pretty much robbing people. They train
Yeah.
to
You're
rob these people. Like,
His name's Fuzz. That's so cute.
yeah, and he's a little yellow Labrador. So Fuzz was a good boy. I hope he got a couple of steaks because I'm sure they can steaks. He's Fuzz. So
He's a career
got it.
criminal and he doesn't even know it.
yeah,
Fuzz has got expensive taste.
yeah, yeah. Fuzz is like the crime boss. That's what. You bring me that money now, or I will break your ankles with that.
Cocaine bear.
Oh yeah, oh,
They,
dude,
they got a thing going on.
I heard that movie.
It's
is-
insane.
I want to see it so bad.
I heard it was so good. Like everybody, like they were talking on the radio today. They thought it was going to be so bad it was good, but they said that it's so good it's great. And I heard that it has some of the most hilarious kills you will ever see.
Yeah.
In a horror movie. And,
Hilarious kills.
and actually,
I'm
that
gonna
movie
have to
is
see
based
it.
off of a real thing. We talked about
Yeah.
that on this
Yeah, we
show
actually
in
did.
85.
I researched it. Yeah, it's insane. But imagine that.
Imagine
like,
that fucking bear.
Of course,
Good
so
Lord.
much of that is probably fabricated. But imagine running into a coked up bear. Like,
No. I wouldn't want to run into a bear.
Because running into a bear period would be great.
Yeah.
What? Fuck, a bear on cocaine? Jesus God.
You're on that used sex toy website. Bear penis with cocaine on the head. You now have cocaine bear penis.
Like, what
You
a
should
legend.
start working for them. I bet you they give you a job.
Jeez.
Oh my God. What we're going to do now is we're going to get into another one of our segments, one of our newer segments. It's called How Did We Get Here? So what we're going to do is we're going to show a photo of an awful injury. And then
Oh no.
we're going to talk about how we got here. So what I'm going to do, I'm
There's
going
gonna be
to
a lot of blood.
there could be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and
Ugh.
pull this up, and
Yeah.
Matt got a little bit of a preview of that. So I'm gonna
I
go
don't
ahead
like.
and show this.
The eye
Are you
And-
gonna pass out? Don't pass
No,
out.
we're going to talk about how
No, I
we
won't
got
pass
here.
out. It's just-
So,
Ow.
of
Is
course,
that an eye?
that is an eye, and that is a fish hook lure
Jesus God.
that is going into their eye. You can actually see a piece of their eye.
It's
Oh
inside.
my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So, Caitlin, how do you think? How did we get here? How did they get a fish hook lure in their eye?
I think that they were fishing and like somebody like threw it back, maybe.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like before he was about to
Oh,
cast
yeah.
out.
Oh
Yeah.
it hits their eye and like just they're sitting there pulling and they're just like,
Dude.
I want this thing passed out. Like,
Like
oh
my
like-
fucking line's caught.
yeah.
It's
ugh.
funny you mentioned that. When
Yeah.
I was a kid and I went fishing with my brother, he
That
did
happened.
not my eye. When he went to cast, he hooked the back of my ear.
Oh,
Oh,
And
see? So that's what I'm
they're
thinking
just-
happened.
Thought he had a fish, and he just kept tugging away. And my uncle was out to fish, and he saw like, "You got the boy, you got the tugging away." I'm like, "Eh." He's like, "Get here." God,
like,
that was
that ear would be a great bait. Like he just rips your ear off and it just goes into the water. Like I want to think
thinking
Oh
eyeball.
my god, but that
would've
poor
think
person.
that that happened. Like they were just swimming. They're just taking a swim, and you have this asshole that casted out their fishing line, reeling it in, and you're just Michael Phelps just
Well,
swimming in the bay, and then all of a sudden, and they have to reel them in to get them to the hospital or whatever. Like, yeah.
Did it say if the guy was able to retain his eyesight or
I don't know. I just typed in photo eye injury, and that was the first photo. that popped up.
diabolical person? You.
You don't even know if he's still alive.
So what's funny
Well,
is
the thing with the eyeball, they say like if you can pierce the eyeball,
Yeah.
right? Because it's just a receptor. Your brain is actually what
yeah.
helps you see. Your
Right.
eyes, whatever. So you can like poke the middle of your eye with, or lancet
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Just as long as you don't penetrate all the way through and hit like the
that's what she said.
what well, you don't penetrate all the way through. But it's whatever connects that to
Yeah.
your eyeball. If you hit that
Oh, yeah.
nerve, then
Yeah,
you
then
can go blind.
fucked.
But
So
if it just hooks like right on the inside like there and comes out, it's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal.
and
Oh,
Kate,
but imagine how painful that would be, though. Oh my god.
imagine
Probably really
seeing
painful.
that like in like a first person
got a
view, like
fucking
in your, that. Yeah, and Caitlin, of course, you joined us a little bit earlier.
Bad motherfucker though.
Are you still good to hang for a little bit?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, cool. So we still.
I got a hook in the eye. There you go. Bad motherfucker there, right?
You joined us early. Normally we start a little bit early and cover some of this stuff before our guests, but you joined us early, so we got into some of it while you were with us. So what we're gonna do now is there's another segment we do called "What the fuck is that food?" So
Another one.
I have a guy that I know that's handicapped. He's in a wheelchair, and he just makes random food in an air fryer, and he posts it on Facebook and doesn't say what it is. And we always try to figure out what the fuck it is. So I started doing it here on the show. So I'm
Does
gonna
it look
show-
suspect?
it looks suspect a lot. So
Okay.
I'm going to show it to you, and then you're going to try to figure out what it is, and then you're going to tell us whether you would eat it, and then you're going to name it. So let me get that ready, and
I
then
want to name it.
so let me get that ready, and then we'll go ahead and pull
What the
that
hell?
up on here. I love like when you preview the stuff, you're like,
I
what?
see
Like,
her-
so all right, so this is what it is. So Caitlin, what do you think that is?
Is it chicken?
I don't- like this looks like it's like a deep fried potato chip. Like,
What the fuck?
he definitely has a thing for cheese because this all looks like
That's yeah.
Burnt cheese
So-
and potatoes.
but then there's this random red right here. So I don't know if that's buffalo sauce.
It looks like
barbecue
sauce. Yeah, I would say
Ketchup.
that's like
Yeah.
like
Whatever the fuck's
buffalo
coming out my
chicken.
navel, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like
It's buffalo chicken.
buffalo. Okay. You know what? I can go with buffalo chicken, even though
Oh.
this does look like chicken here, but I don't know what these are. Like, I don't know if it's like Like, I don't know. Are they nuggets? Like, is that like a wing? Like, is it like a wing, and then like chicken nuggets that deeply battered and whatever? So, Caitlin, so if you were to name this dish, what would you name it and would you eat it?
I would name it buffalo chicken, mash, and
Buffalo chicken mash.
I would probably try it like just a little tiny bite because I really like cheese and I like burnt cheese. I know that's really weird. So
Burnt cheese is good. I like
yeah,
sometimes
so like that has a lot of burnt cheese on it. So yeah, I'd eat it.
because eggs are solid with burnt cheese. Like if you make eggs or like an omelet and you get a little bit
Oh,
of
I
burnt,
love burnt cheese on eggs.
yeah. So that's a complete solid. But no, like Matt, what would you call that?
A fucking mess, man. I don't know. I probably would eat it though.
I would call this the used sex toy cleaner's delight.
Oh god.
That's what I would call it. Like, I feel like after you extensively clean used sex toys, that is the meal that you will sit down and
Oh,
for hours while you slowly tear it apart. And I think because we've
I
had,
haven't eaten today. That actually looks really good.
we haven't eaten at all.
No, not today.
That's
Do-
not good for you.
Do you fast?
Yeah, I'm a faster. Sometimes I go 12 to 24 hours.
Holy shit.
So it's not uncommon for me to not eat for like, 12 to 24 hours.
Fasting's actually becoming very
It is.
popular right
It is.
now as a dietary.
Yeah.
thing,
I mean,
'cause-
it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that.
I
Because what people were doing when they were working out, I guess more for like bodybuilding and shit. They just
yeah.
eat a bunch of food like every other hour and shit just to keep all
have
the
you ever seen the
calories
shit that
coming
The
in.
Rock eats?
Yeah,
Like holy shit.
he
The
eats like a
Rock.
whole
Yeah,
fucking
he eats like
pizza
a whole buffet
and-
table
and
of fucking
folds
shit.
it up and he
Yeah.
just eats it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I do the what my wife calls, and she turned me onto it, called the diabetic diet. And I eat something every 2 hours and I cut carbs. So
Okay.
I'll cut carbs completely in half. And then we get up at 4 o'clock every morning, go to the gym, do like an hour of cardio, and then I'll come home, do like my DDP yoga program, and just and it shaves off. Like there's been a time in the past where I lost like shit. I think it was like, what was it? When I went into the EWA Hall of Fame, I lost, I think it was almost 90 pounds. I
Holy
was in-
shit.
Yeah, I was
That's
in
like a whole person.
I was in the best shape of my adult life, even including when I wrestled. And I was in good shape when I wrestled. And I was like, okay, I've been gone for 5 years. They want to put me in the Hall of Fame. I want to come back and look like a guy who still currently does this. I don't want to come back and look like a schlub or,
Yeah.
and I did it. And that's the shape that I want to, get back into. But it takes time. I mean, everybody has something different
Yeah.
that works for them.
I mean, I'm not like probably the healthiest person, but like I still have some muscle and stuff to me, but I do fast. Like I usually eat maybe one big meal a day.
Yeah.
Right,
And-
me too. Well, we have to in the industry because you can't risk, bloating or whatever it is the food might do.
Right.
So a lot of us don't eat all day. And then I go home and then I eat a giant meal. I go to bed and it's worked for me.
Yeah. See, but my only problem is I smoke a lot of weed.
Same.
I do snack though in between there. That's the problem. I eat usually one big meal a day, but I will eat like a bag of Doritos or something here and there just because
Every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
well,
Well, it's weird
not every
because
30 minutes,
like
but
I never like throughout my entire life, I was never really a big wrap guy, like eating wraps.
Mhm.
And then like we started getting tortillas, the low fat tortillas and all this shit. So I started making wraps, and like now it's like I don't even want to eat bread anymore. Like I'm just like
Wrap sounds good. You actually just decided what I'm going to eat for dinner. I'm going to get something wrapped.
Yeah.
you know what you should eat though. I
What?
mean, this has got a lot of bread, but if you go to Panera Bread right now, they have like this chicken buffalo like bread. I can't remember what kind of bread it is, but dude, I had it last night.
it's
It
like
was-
ciabatta bread or
it-
something.
yeah,
like that?
and it was
Okay.
awesome.
Chicken buffalo bread?
It was like a chicken buffalo. It's almost like
It's made by the guy who made the chicken wings.
Right,
That's
it-
what it looks like, but it's bread.
no, it's like you know the dip, chicken buffalo dip. You ever?
Yes.
So it's basically that,
Oh,
but
they
it's
spread it on there and
but
then
they
like
just spread
toast
it on like a roll and they toast it.
Oh, that sounds so
No.
good.
So
Ugh.
it's that Panera bread. That shit was awesome.
That's good shit. I gotta tell Jess about that because I don't even
Yeah.
think she knows. We could probably eat that
That's good
brownie that you
shit.
gave us and then go to Panera Bread and eat like a shit ton of those.
Whatever you do, the brownie I gave you, do not eat all of the brownie.
I'm gonna eat half of it. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Don't do that.
And of course, Facebook Live, Jason commented a couple of things a little bit farther back. He said he was so disappointed in the new Halloween movie. And then when we were talking about the haunted places, he said, do you think that there's ever a haunted grocery store? I would hope so, because I would like to be in a
Yeah.
grocery store and just have like a random zucchini like floating past. Like that would be hilarious. And then
That was
he said, Caitlin, who is your favorite person to work with in the industry?
That's hard because there's so many great talents. So I don't really have a favorite. I've got some, I hang out with Crystal Rush a lot. She's a really cool person.
Yeah, she was on
We had her on.
Yeah, she's an amazing person. But there's so many great girls and guys that I hang out with. So it's just hard. I've made a lot of great friends in this industry. It's been awesome.
Nice. And now with being in the industry, and this is actually one of our more common questions. What kind of porn related injuries have you gotten? And if you haven't gotten any, what
Oh,
have you
yes.
seen or heard about?
So it's very, very important that you stretch in our industry, because that is something that happened. I didn't stretch, and I'd had my first lesbian scene, and like pussy eating is really bad for your neck, especially when you're doing it for long periods of time and trying to get that angle. So I did that, and the next day I had a browser scene, and I woke up and I couldn't move my neck. And I remember going down. Have you guys had that where you can't move your neck at all?
I think I had that like last week.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of vagina too. So
Yeah. And I went downstairs and I was like, what am I going to do? It was my first browser scene ever. And the girls were like, we got you, girl. They got a hyperbolts, and they were working on my back, and then they gave me an edible. And they're like, yeah. And so I couldn't turn my head to the left. They're like, that's fine. Just tell your talent, which he was very accommodating. I was like, just left side, no go. So the camera people filmed the whole thing.
That's really cool though. That's nice.
Because I could not turn to the left.
That would suck, because like if you had like the stiff neck, you're just like, ah.
No, it looks stupid.
This is the worst head I've ever got.
Yeah. My head just stuck.
She just won't move her head.
So yeah, that's the worst that's ever happened. But now I stretch all the time because of that.
I can imagine.
Hey, I have so many various lingering wrestling injuries, and when I discovered yoga, a lot of that shit started to heal
Went
up.
away, right?
Yeah, like it's crazy. I recommend it to people all the time, the program that I use, because it's insane. And you see these people who are once 400 pounds are now 150 that use that DDP yoga program and just like lost all of it. It's insane.
Just from stretching.
Like yeah, like because you use like more like dynamic resistance or whatever. Like you use your own body's weight resistance.
Body weight.
Yeah. And with being in the industry, have you done any porn parodies? And are there any porn parodies that you want to do a parody of?
I haven't. They're always little skits, but no parodies. I would definitely want to be a part of one. I've never really thought about what type though. Maybe a horror, some sort of horror one.
Asylum.
Yeah. Like what about like
we put
like,
you in an asylum and we just electrocute you. Oh, this is so hot.
What about what the hell is it? The Conjuring. What about something like a Conjuring, like porn parody or something
That
like that?
sounds fun. What about The Exorcist?
Oh, they're making a remake of that.
That looks really good.
Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah,
the first one was terrifying.
Doesn't it have like Russell Crowe in it or
I
something?
think so. Yeah, I think Russell Crowe plays the priest in
I
that.
normally don't watch that type of stuff, but I might watch that.
Yeah,
because I'm a big Russell Crowe fan. So.
If you ever get to Washington, D.C., go to the Exorcist steps. Like you remember in the first movie, the priest fell down the steps?
Yeah.
Those steps are in Washington, D.C. When me and my wife went up there for a weekend, I went to those steps because I wanted to get a picture. Trying to position myself like trying to fall down the steps.
Oh my god.
Connected to like some school now, and like there were these people just like exercising, running up and down the steps. Because I remember I waited like 15 minutes and my wife was getting super impatient, and I was like, I want to get this fucking photo. Like, do they have to fucking work? These are the fucking Exorcist steps. These are hollowed steps, god damn it.
You're like, get off my steps.
Yeah, get off. I need to fall down these steps. So I don't care if I break my neck. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to get into our featured beer this week. So, of course, our featured beer is our last from our friends over at Full Tilt Brewing Company. It's the last of the Hardcore Legends 4-pack, which features WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley. This one is Have a Nice Day Black Rye IPA. So, of course, you see Mick Foley on the front and his trademark Sacco right there. And that, like, you look at this and it looks like flat soda. So just but it's good. It was one, of course, they have the 4 different ones. That one and the fruity one were my 2 favorites.
Yeah,
so
this one and can't remember. It was the one with the Dude Love on it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the Dudester.
Right.
It was the Dudester. Yeah. So
remember.
Dude Love was the other one. So shout out to Full Tilt Brewing. Of course, we will be back at Full Tilt Brewing on March 25th as we will be hosting a live fully fermented episode, which will feature 3 local Maryland legends. I'll be hosting that myself. Hopefully by then I'll have the replica of the heavyweight title I won. I will have that so people can pose for photos with the belt and all that shit as well. But that will feature Bob Starr, Ruckus, and Chad Austin, all of which have been in WWE, WCW, and of course, very well known here in the state of Maryland. So that will be at 1:00 p.m. right here in Baltimore. So if you're local, come check that out. And we have a new featured shot. So of course the vodka is gone. I know you're not a vodka fan. So
I hated that.
and remember, like, we have so much product that's just laying around and I'm trying to go through because there's leftover stuff. So actually, it will be one of the first ones we ever had, which is a local, and that's Lion Rum. So of course, Lion Distilling is located right here in Maryland, over in St. Michael's, Maryland. So shout out to Lion Rum. And they sent us this out. It's actually funny. They have like a little sprinter van. And I remember seeing on my ring camera, she pulled up and like just dropped it on the porch and boom, out she went. I don't know whatever happened with the what the hell was it? That beer we were supposed to get sent out. What the hell was that called?
Peroni.
Yeah, they were supposed to send us the Peroni, but they thought we were in the UK.
Peroni?
Yeah, they're in.
I like Peroni. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, they thought we were in the UK and they were like, hey, we're going to send you some product to promote something for us. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And they were like, oh shit, you're in America. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, in my address, I put Baltimore, Maryland. Like, that's not in the UK, but we may get it or we may not get it.
Maybe there's a different like law.
I think with customs, they're weird on bottles.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think I've ever seen Peroni in anything else but a bottle.
Right.
So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, do the Lion Rum, and then we'll get into a couple more things, and then Caitlin, we will let you go ahead and get out of here shortly. So there we go. So there's that.
Cheers.
Oh man. Oh, I forgot how strong that was. I feel that in my nostril.
I can feel it on your face. Oh my god.
So are you like what's your go-to when you drink?
I like red wine, a good Cabernet, good Pinot, occasionally some white wine, some Chardonnay. Yeah. And of course, tequila.
I drink, I've been to Mexico 4 times, and every time we went, we did an all-inclusive trip, and I drank so much fucking tequila that I'm surprised I'm alive.
Right.
Like the last time we went, the resort we were on, we went to the beach and you could see this big ass house that was abandoned, like off in the distance. And we sat there and we asked one of the workers there, we're like, what's up with that house? And they're like, oh, that was one of El Chapo's houses. And we just kind of laughed it off, and they're like, no, really? That was seized by the government. That's one of El Chapo's old houses. So I remember I got really drunk and I started telling my wife my ideas for going to this house and ripping up the floorboards to look for money. And she was like, you're not going to do that. And I was like, you can't tell me what to do. I was like, we're going to be rich. We're going to have millions. We're going to have.
You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, we're going to have Fuzz the Golden Labrador when I am done with this house.
Now, is El Chapo the one they never caught, or?
They caught him, but then I believe he escaped. I'm not sure if he's back in though.
Oh, because I was just, what if you ran into him when you went in there? He was like in his safe house.
He's just sitting there. Just
yeah, right.
sharpening a machete with like one of those like sharpening wheels or whatever. And he's just like, hey, and I'm like, tequila, and he's just like, tequila, and we just drink together. And he beheads me at the end. Like that's that would be a great way to go. So Chapo's like, okay, I'm going to El Chapo you now. And Caitlin, with traveling, what do you think is the wildest experience you've had while traveling?
That's hard because I've been to a lot of places and I've had some wild ass times. I have a best friend. She goes with me all over the world, and yeah, we're in trouble.
Well, I mean, part of the trouble that I used to get into is another reason why I have this show. So a lot of times we can talk, like I brought up before, and Caitlin doesn't know this. And if there's any new viewers that are watching because of Caitlin, they probably don't know, but they used to call me Toilet Ripper because I I would get drunk at the bar and I would just rip a toilet out of the ground or rip a journal off the wall. And that
you would go to other countries and
remind you to get you drunk.
I thought you were an international toilet.
My wrestling gimmick was Chase Rawlings, but my bar gimmick was Toilet Ripper. And the worst one was we were in a bar. It's closed now, so I'll say the name. We're in Bluefins, and we victimized this place so bad. We threw a picture in the river. It floated away and then came back months later. Like we did so much shit there. There was one night I'm sitting there and I'm drunk, and it like you ever use like the urinal and you're just kind of sitting there leaning with like your hand on the pipe and you're just like trying to figure out your life and how you got there, like while you're peeing, like you're just kind of like your hands on your head, like I think I'm gonna die. And then like I feel someone nudging me in my back and they're like, come on, fucker, fucking just pull it. Like, and what they were doing is there's these little rings that go around the pipes. And they were just loosening the rings. So when I heard him go, pull it, you motherfucker, like my hand is on the pipe. So I just pull and it rips the pipe out of the wall and water just fucking like a jet stream, like a fucking out of control fire hose out of the fucking wall, goes right across me. I'm drenched. The bouncer runs in. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? One of the other wrestlers was like, I don't know, man. We're just trying to piss. And so he definitely saved my ass. Then like the bouncer went out there. He's like, I don't know who fucking keeps doing this, but I'm tired of this shit. I'm just hiding behind the bar with my wet shorts dripping. And I'm just like,
sorry, I might be a little too slow for this, but that wasn't the only time you've done it. So
he's Toilet Ripper. Like he made a name for himself.
At the same place, though.
No, not at the same place.
Okay,
but
what you said was you were like, I don't know who keeps doing this. Like,
well, we threw the picnic table in the river there, and it floated back. We stole.
Well,
like,
I remember that part, but I
there.
thought you were ripping multiple toilets out of the same place.
I think they knew it was the wrestlers. But we would always go there after a show, and there'd be like 30 of us, and then fans would come, and they would make so much money off of us that replacing that pipe was like nothing. Okay. They used to do $20.
They have like an extra one in the back when you're coming.
yeah, they just put it right on.
Right.
A faked out pipe. But they used to do $20 all you could drink, and that would always just be kill shot. It's like, what are you thinking? Like. Especially if you have all these 250, 300-pound wrestlers walking in here and that can literally drink this place dry.
Right.
Like, there was a time and Me, Blood, and Socrates.
Maybe that's why they're no longer in business.
Yeah, that's probably why. They probably couldn't pay their water bill due to how much water was fired. We went to a strip club in West Virginia, and we talked about this one of the very first episodes we did. And it was me and a couple of the other guys, and they did this special where they had 25-cent draft beers for 30 minutes. And so the bartender misunderstood the way that it was supposed to be served. You weren't supposed to serve like multiple one. It was supposed to be one per person. So she did. Right. So each one of us went up and was like, here's $20. How much do you get? And they're like, as many as you want. Okay, well, I'll take $20 worth. And we tried like 4 or 5 times.
My God.
And we drank so many beers. We had the biggest 3-dimensional fucking beer mid. That like, I don't know how the fuck we got home that night. Because West Virginia from Maryland, where we were, was probably like at least like an hour and 35, hour and 40 minutes away. No idea how we got home. Slightest idea, like, because we were all just trash. We all drank at least like probably 50 to 60 beers a piece. And we're just
A
gone.
piece.
So yeah,
Oh,
and,
dude.
like it was insane because I mean, imagine that, like 20, we each threw down $20 4 times, so 20 times 25 cents. That's that's a lot of beers.
That's
So,
a lot of beer.
Caitlin, have you ever had a night like that where like you're just kind of there and there's some idiotic person like me there and you're just kind of like, why is there water coming out of the bathroom like that? Like I don't understand. Like, yes, but we have had some pretty wild times, especially with the wrestlers and all that stuff. But no, so Caitlin, we know you joined us a little bit early. We're gonna get ready to wrap up here on YouTube Live. We appreciate you coming on. Of course, we're gonna be back here again this coming Saturday, next Saturday, March the 3rd, or March, I think it's March the 4th. Yeah, it's March the 4th. We're gonna be here on March the 4th, and we're gonna be here at 7:30 p.m. And our featured guest is Maddie Collins. She will be joining us here on the show, right here on YouTube Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap up on YouTube Live. Caitlin, can you hang out for a minute or two when we're done?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. For everybody that tuned in tonight or anybody that will see this after the fact on YouTube, we appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week right here on the Happy Hour podcast. All right. So, and boom. All right, cool. So Caitlin,
Are we off live?